Morning everybody, Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. I started putting this on. I needed help, so I did not record that part. I got advice from an old timer and decided the gaps in between the boards are important for expansion because these are really dry and with time they might expand. So we're going to have gaps, except for here I had to come tighter because the bolts need to go into some meat on the wood, and so I had to squeeze these three tighter. But anyway, got some help getting this on because there's a lot of tension on these supporting arms and I couldn't do it alone, and then I just drilled two of these just to hold that in place for now. So anyway, I'm going to fix up the other two and then I'm going to put the cross bracing underneath, and you can watch me do all that. I've got to cut a board for that anyway. So I've got these two holes to drill yet. And I'm going by what the original installer of this used, because it lasted 30-40 years, probably 30 years they used it. I think they say it was 1980s. That's 40 years ago this was installed. Now that's just to hold that in place for now. I'm going to pop those bolts back up again when I finish putting in the 2x6s. So I'm going to have two 2x6s butted up against each other right here to give me extra cross bracing up inside here. And then that will really reinforce with these arms here to stop forward momentum. And those two bolted into every one of these boards will give me, it'll distribute the force along all these boards. And then I'm going to put a piece of metal reinforcing somewhere up in here all the way across from frame to frame, and that'll help take a lot of that flex out of those boards when I'm hauling heavy loads on there. I've cut a board to fit underneath between the frame from side to side and dead center in here, which is going to tie all these boards in. But I don't have my clamps here, wood clamps, which I would prefer to have. So I have to try to do this. I can't reach from here. I'm going to have to go in from the side. It's awkward. I got to try to line this up from underneath. And I've got some screws set in to bite in once I get it set to where I'm going to want it. I need another hand. It's what I need to do this right. I'm going to try to line this up. Yeah, this is not happening. I wonder, I might have to block that up with some wood or something. There's no way I'm doing this alone. You see if somebody's floating around to help me hold that up, or I'm never getting this. No way, not alone. So I probably do this part off camera. I'm going to line that up, put two screws in it to hold it for now. And then I'm going to drill the holes in it and bolt that thing down. Well, I couldn't wait around, so I took all the cutoffs and stacked them up. And then I could prop the board up underneath there. There it is. And lined it up pretty much where I wanted it. I measured out and marked, and I got it where I wanted it. So now I can drill these holes through and mount the bolts. And that piece, then I'll position these boards and drill holes and bolt them all the way through. So I got that board under there now. All I have to do is drill through that board. I'm already through the top board, now I've got to drill through the bottom board. And then I'll be able to put the bolts through and torque it down. Now I've got the original bracing that goes underneath and some nuts. These are grade 8 bolts and nuts. Now I'm going to get underneath and I'm going to bolt that in. You won't be able to see me down there, but I'll get it done. Alright, I got the bolts underneath secured. This is solid with the trailer. I can rock it, and it's one piece with the trailer now. Now what I got to do is pre-drill my lag bolt hole. I've got 2 boards under here, 2 2x6s, back to back, right dead center along here. So there's one here and one here going along the length of the width of the trailer. And then I'm going to bolt through each one of them, so I'm going to have bolts all the way across to tie in all the boards. I want to tap that in so I have a center point. Find that center point. Alright, now I can screw that in. Just make sure I am recording. Sometimes I want to be sure I can't see the camera. Gotta get a bite on that. Now it's in. Yeah, this is gonna be really strong. I'll get this back in service and we can do some serious hard work with this trailer. The wood I want to haul is a 3,000 pound load I want to pick up with this trailer, so that's why I'm reinforcing it well. You gotta get new tires on it before I can do it. It gets harder to turn until it breaks through, and it'll get easier. There, we're in all the way. Okay, that's not going anywhere. That is rugged. Let me back the camera up and show you. That is one with the trailer now. That's not going anywhere now. That is strong. And then especially when I tie that in, which I'm going to do in a minute here, I'll put the holes through and tie in those 2x6s that are underneath. You can see through this gap. Can you see there? I don't know if you can see the sunlight. I got the 2 2x6s, so that's going to be really, really strong. And then I'll cut another one for the back strip underneath to tie them all in. So that's going to be really good. Before I do that though, I got one more thing I need to do before I lock these in. I've got to go in and bolt some of these down to the frame, so I'm going to mark them where there's holes in the frame and mark those and then pre-drill them and then put the bolts through to tie the whole thing down to the frame more securely. Now you can see the 2x6s. I marked this. There's no hole here, but there's down there, so anywhere there's a hole through the frame I've marked it. And then I'll drill through. That one's a little small for my bolt. anyway. Now, that should be able to be bolted down and not in a washer. And that'll be another point where it's mounted on the frame all the way through. Oh, I drilled out the wrong hole. Alright, that's fine. That's why the washer helps a lot. Pull that in and hold it good. And now I'll tighten that in. And that board will be in place nice and good. Now I've got spacing on these in between the boards for water runoff and whatever else, dirt and water and sweeping the deck. Nice and solid. I've got a drill here. And here, smaller hole. And a washer and a nut for each. And I'll tighten them on there. Well, there it is, guys. All done. Looks good. I just got to get the tires on it next. But new deck on the trailer, got the arm on. I was already hanging on it, swinging on it. Doesn't flex at all with my little bit of weight. So I'm going to be able to start hauling some trees and machines and equipment again with that. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. This is Troy from the Do-It-Yourself World and the Off-Grid Project. Please like, subscribe, and share, and follow our videos as we strive to become fully self-sufficient and off the grid on a budget. Talk to you later.